Shout out Marty Marr, he just got out the can. He packed the ball and back to running up them bands. And I ride for the squad and the family. With a 35 jersey screaming free AE. I swear I got it, it's Wydoe, I'm popping and I'm smooth. We bout to kill it, we live in LCP in the pool. Hey, and I'm about to roll. Wydoe, baby, just stay in the rope. Cause I gotta go. Pick up the phone, tell them, hey, that I walked in the booth and I got it on me. Talking about we looking, smelling, feeling like money. I feel like when you ball out, everybody get to know you. And just like that, man, we are officially back live on the official Wydoe podcast. And as the video just told you, we walking in here and I got it on me and we looking, smelling, feeling like money. So before we kick it off, man, big weekend this past weekend. It's Monday. Hopefully everybody's having a great day, a great week so far, a great month, and a great year. Most importantly, I hope you're having a great life. How you living? I'm all right today. We're going to keep it rolling, man. If you didn't know, we had a crazy UFC card. Canelo fought this weekend. Big basketball games on. Basketball games on as we speak. Let me go ahead and pull that up so I don't miss nothing. I got my brother popping off on the podcast today with me, man. Backcourt Talk. We got my podcast. My point guard, Al Money Bundy in the show, man. Let's go ahead and get him on here without further ado. My guy, how we feeling?
Wydoe. God is good, baby. God is good.
Bundy, man. For the people that didn't know, let me go ahead and get the ticker going. My brother just had a birthday. Happy belated birthday to Mr. Bundy himself.
Peace and love.
Okay,
peace and love.
Okay.
26 years young.
Got the soundboard working. Give him some claps. Okay.
Yes,
how you feeling, man? Kentucky basketball on the jacket. I see you representing Big Blue. How you feeling, man?
Man, God is good, man. Like you said, just enjoyed a birthday, good weekend. Got to celebrate it with some friends and family. Monday, got the week off to a good start, so we're moving forward, baby. We're going up. The only place to go is up, and that's all it is to it.
So it's official now. Celtics get the win, 116-108 over Milwaukee.
Yeah, man, 2-2.
And it's now tied 2-2. Allen.
Yeah, man.
Tying it up tonight. Grizzlies Warriors. What we looking like that? Without Ja.
No Ja Morant in Golden State. Going to be a tough one for Memphis to pull off, especially Golden State. You know, the boys always been one of the superior home teams. Going to be tough to win this one without Ja, man. I could see like the first half kind of being close just because of. Don't want to say the Warriors won't be up for the game, but just no Ja, the different kind of game plan, so to say, from in terms of defensive schemes and whatnot. So Memphis is going to have to kind of take a different approach to the game. But in the long run, with the game being out there in San Francisco in the Chase Center where the Warriors play their home games, got a feeling the second half, Curry, Clay, some of them boys got to get high.
Get it going.
Rest will probably be history, man. But, yeah, that Boston game, that was a big win for Boston. 2-2 that series. So that's 3-game series now.
And isn't it crazy, dog? Like, after game one of many of the series, people are already done. All right, Milwaukee's going to run through them. All right, Heat's going to sweep them.
Yep.
You know, already had it already done. Now, a couple games later, it's a whole new ball game.
It don't work like that, man, this time of the year. It's funny, you know, I'm a big Charles Barkley fan, but Charles Barkley, Boston loses game one in Boston. Boston doesn't. They're not going to win a game this series. They got a 0% chance. You know what I'm saying? So, like you said, it's just the Heat series is interesting. Me, of course, being a diehard Heat fan, but I have not liked the way the Heat have played those last 2 games in Philadelphia. Just weren't really able to make shots. Looked a little better. Jimmy Butler got it going yesterday. Game 3, they were awful. Only finished with 79 points. Terrible offensive performance. But I heard somebody, I can't remember.
So you put it more so on the Heat folding up more so than the Sixers and James Harden did their thing without
James
Embiid,
Harden,
and then when Embiid came back.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Embiid, despite him playing hurt, he still demands a lot of attention. So, I mean, Philly, game 3, the Heat played god-awful. I mean, you're not going to win a road playoff game scoring 79 points. So, game 3, I just kind of put it to the Heat didn't make any shots. Game 4, James Harden did get it going, the best we've seen him play in I don't know how long now. But it's one of these series, though, where it's it's Miami doesn't have to win in Philadelphia. Philadelphia would have to win in Miami to win the series. So you know what I mean. With Miami having home court advantage, I still see them pulling through, but it's probably going to be a 7 game series now. Same with the Boston series. So it's once you get to these game sevens, it's one game, man. It's a toss up. It's you know what I mean. And it doesn't really what happened prior to that in the series is completely irrelevant. Where the game's being played is completely irrelevant. It's a win in advance, lose, and your season's over. So that's what makes Game Sevens some of the funnest sporting events, so to say, that us as fans have the opportunity to watch. But yeah, I don't know about my Heat boys, man. I'm not happy with the way we've looked these last 2 games, but I'm hoping go back to Miami, go back to South Beach, and I'm hoping they kind of, you know what I'm saying, put together a good Game 5 performance and then try to go get one in Philadelphia to close things out. But one game at a time, like you said, when you get to this time of the year, it's it's not easy, man. It's not many people are getting swept this time of the year. Like you said, it's people are so quick to just write a team off, but it takes one game to change the whole landscape of a series, which I think we're seeing firsthand in a couple of these series. Look at out west, Luka Doncic is two
Dallas.
two versus the Phoenix Suns. I mean, the way they played game two, the first 2 games of the season in Phoenix, excuse me, same shit. People were looking at that as a potential sweep, but
Yeah. Quick to throw it in there, and now everyone's eating their words. That's why I just never got it. Where people are so definitive. Like sometimes the Barclays, I feel it's almost their job to kind of stir some things up,
that's
make
a
a
good point.
headline, do something.
That's a
But
good
for the
point.
guys like us, the standard is just like, come on now, what are we doing?
It's
Just
just a
wait
series,
on it, wait on it. Especially if it's series, especially
for
if
sure,
it's
bro.
come on now.
Bro, because it's every game is its own game, so it's not like if you're down 2-0, if you're down 3-1, that team is going into the game the following game. We got to go get one. We got to go get one. They're not thinking we got to go get. You can't win 3 games in one night. You know what I'm saying? So every game is this individual game. Once you get down, like unless you're down 3-0, it's no series is over, man. I mean, we've seen teams come back, not rarely from a 3-1 deficit, but 2-0. I mean, like you said, it was what's that 3 series that was 2-0 this in this round that started off 2-0 from the Heat, the
Yeah, Heat,
Mavericks,
Boston.
and well, Boston was at one
Oh,
one.
there was 1-1. Yeah, the
Yeah,
Mavericks went down.
the Mavericks went down 2-0. The Heat went up 2-0. Both of those series are 2-2. Are we missing one, man? Maybe just those two. Yeah, because the Golden State was 1-1 their first 2 games too. But yeah, anyway, not that that matters. But it's the playoff basketball, man. It's no easy wins this time of the year. So what happened yesterday doesn't matter. It's about what I'm saying. It's about what's happening in the moment, so to say. So
Yeah, well, let's move
it's
past basketball because that's going right now. Let's go ahead and recap what happened this weekend. It was a big weekend. Okay, UFC 274 popped off.
oh yeah,
We'll go bottom to top real quick, man. I was kind of sad to see Cowboy have to pull out night of the fight, day of the fight, morning of the fight. I guess he woke up with sickness, real bad vomiting. I guess he had food poisoning of
food
what
poisoning,
he
right?
ate. Yeah. So
This was
him and
supposed
Joe
to be
Lozon's fight got completely scrapped. Didn't see it at all,
okay.
sadly.
This was supposed to be Cowboys' kind of like last dance thing too, wasn't it?
Definitely his last retirement fight.
Yeah.
Probably Joe's last fight too. We haven't seen him fight in a while. He's on the same, kind of stretch. Both of them been here, vets, certified legends. So I hope they get that rebooked. Hopefully they get that somewhere soon. I mean, they're both ready. You know what I mean? Like next card type thing. There was originally supposed to be in the Apex in the
Okay.
small venue in front of nobody. And then Cowboy hit up the matchmakers and wanted to be in front of the fans, which I feel like as he should. We deserve
Yeah.
that. He deserves the pop. He's a fan favorite. So
For sure. I mean, Cowboy's got quite the resume in the UFC, man. He's been around for a while, obviously, but I think he deserves one last hurrah too. So, like you said, hopefully they get that fight rebooked. Maybe not one of these next couple cards at International Fight Week or something like that. Find a way to squeeze him in there, but yeah, that was unfortunate. But it was a crazy night though, as we both could testify to. Crazy card.
oh man, a wild card. And so let's just start it off with the 3 big ones. Okay. Michael Chandler and Tony Ferguson. We all knew what kind of fight it would be. Entertaining. That's it.
But to say the
How?
least.
You never know. It doesn't really matter. And that's so
Mhm.
beautiful about MMA, especially the UFC, is literally it's going to be entertaining. You never know. I've seen so many first time in my life moments where whether it's a one punch knockout, a flying knee, a front head kick, a spinning elbow right at the
Yeah, yeah, at the end of the
it's
round.
Yair Rodriguez. Oh my God, there's so many one moment, a late response knockout a couple fights ago. So you never know what you're gonna get when people are literally throwing everything, trying to harm each other and survive almost.
It's the
And
fight game.
we did it again, bro. Never in my life did I ever think Michael Chandler would come up here and front face punt Tony
That was
Ferguson to the
brutal.
goddamn moon.
That was brutal, man. That was fucking brutal. And I thought Tony actually looked pretty good in that first
He looked
round.
real good in the first round.
And then just, oh my God. I think even Dana White said it, like, at least in my time, my lifespan of watching cage fights, MMA, UFC fights, gotta be one of, if not the most vicious knockout I've ever seen. Like, that was, I don't know if you've
Yeah, I
seen
don't
that.
know. I mean, I don't know why everyone's so going crazy about it. I mean, it was definitely bad. I think the knockouts look real bad when people fall on their face. So I think the
Mhm.
fact that Tony fell forward, but I mean, there's no way you're telling me that was more vicious than Masvidal's fucking flying knee to Askren.
That's a good point.
There's been a lot of me, and then the following punch after it.
Oh, yeah.
There's been some. I mean,
Yeah,
Jan,
that was crazy. That was crazy. Yeah.
bro, Blachowicz when he destroyed Luke Rockhold. I mean, those are some vicious. We've had some
Those,
vicious ass knockouts. So
nah,
I
I
think
know what you
it's
mean.
super. We've seen the front head kick before. I think it's really bad because he went right out,
Yeah.
lights out, right to his face. And it's just a
And
scary moment anytime you saw that. But it
for
was it
sure,
was
bro.
super good to see him get up. You could tell he's kind of out of it a little bit, but he definitely knew where he was. He was responding to people, had a little embrace with Chuck Liddell.
Yep. I
And
saw
he's been
that.
on Twitter. After a day, he's back on Twitter being El Cucuy, back being Tony Ferguson. So
He got transported, I think they said that night of where you have to. But
anybody gets knocked out has to.
and I think, man, like with a kick like that is on top of like the getting kicked like you said, but I think it's like a big like the stunned factor, like holy shit, like I just fucking got kicked in my chin, like you know
The
what I
punch
mean?
the punch they always say the punch that knocks you out is when you don't see coming, and you definitely don't
Exactly.
see a kick like that coming from a shorter guy
That's what I
like
mean.
Mike, who doesn't throw kicks, damn
So
sure not no
that's
front
never been a
kicks.
Chandler's thing. He's not known for. He's a brawler. He's not like a man. But yeah, it
Even he
was
said that was more of a check kick to kind of feel his range and where he is, and he just happened to throw it with
fucking
some
rock his
vicious
ass with
intent
it.
and fucking clock him with it.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, look, to stick on that real quick, I just want to get this out of my browser. In my opinion, man, after that win, a crazy early round two finish from
Yep.
Michael Chandler after a real close, might have even lost that round one just because, Tony was Tony. I think everyone knows Michael Chandler's game. He's coming out to throw bombs. He's coming out to do damage. He didn't do much of that in the first round. So by default, that's not a Michael Chandler round that he won.
I
In that
agree.
round two, everything changed. So after that fight, I always love the Octagon interviews. I think they're so awesome, so hype. And I think he delivered one of the greatest
That was pretty
Octagon
epic.
interviews that we have ever seen.
After
So
doing about four or five backflips too.
let's just go ahead and break this down. Yeah, this is after the backflips. I just want to hear him talk to the crowd one time for the
This
one
was
time.
dope. Yeah, this is dope.
Is it back now? No, it's fine. It's fine. I think it just swelled up pretty quick. I think we're good. Listen, I'm ready to come back. The main event. There is not one MMA fan on the planet that doesn't want to see me rematch you, Charles, or rematch you, Dustin Gaethje, a rematch of Fight of the Year 2021. 5 rounds for the UFC lightweight title.
And Joe.
And Dana White have a momentary lapse of judgment, and they give the title shot to someone else. I got one dude on my mind. Conor McGregor, you gotta come back and fight somebody. I am the most entertaining lightweight on the planet, but I want to up the stakes, Conor. I want you at your biggest, I want you at your baddest, and I want you at your best. You and me at 170
170.
All this winter, holler at your boy. God bless. I'll see you at the top. Michael Chandler,
Fun, man. Chandler's a fun dude, man. Fun dude to watch. I can see why he's a fan favorite. That was epic.
God
I agree
bless,
with
and
you,
I'll
bro.
see you at the top. I love it, man.
I love it, dog.
fucking.
That was epic. That was definitely epic, bro. That's got to be up there. I'd agree with you. That's got to be one of the most memorable post-fight octagon interviews, at least that I could recall of.
That shook it up right there.
Oh yeah, I mean that would be a entertaining fight to say the least. Him and Connor.
Connor retweeted him.
Did he? What'd he
went
say?
back at him. Just kind of like it would be an interesting fight just down the road. Just kind of made it seem like it's a.
Yeah, I don't think that's the return fight for Connor. But like you said, at some point, like before Connor's hangs him up, so to say, that'd be a fight that would tear the roof off of whatever ring that was in. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, I mean, how could you not? You know.
Yeah, for sure.
But
let me ask you a question. Who do you want to see Connor fight next?
I just want to see him have a good fight. I was gonna get my Connor shirt out and everything for that to represent my boy, but I'm not bringing it out. To be honest, let's go ahead and just break this shit down. So, in the title fight, we had Oliveira and Gaethje.
Talk about that.
And once again, we saw Oliveira as just the dominant, best lightweight in the world right now.
Hands down.
A lot of people are talking shit about Gaethje. He quit, yada, yada, yada. But I'm not going to go at quit. He went to sleep. You know, he got beat. He got dropped. And then he got caught. And once you get your neck, it's a wrap. He survived the first initial whatever, re-gripped him, and it was over. But the way I look at it, Al Money, and this is, I'm just, I'll turn to you. But, man, the way I really thought about this, like right before the fight. I didn't even really say this on the podcast before the fight, but you got to compare it to Dustin Poirier.
Okay.
And Dustin Poirier is the best example of what's to come against the Charles Oliveira and what we can see up against the Charles Oliveira. And Dustin Poirier, in my opinion, is much better than Justin Gaethje. Much better hands.
He beat him too. Yeah.
He beat him. It was a war. It was a crazy war. He swam in Justin's waters in Justin's hometown and knocked him out, I believe, in round 4.
He's more well-rounded fighter.
And after that fight, he got his legs tore up by Gaethje. And after that fight is when Dustin really started to throw them, and he added that to his arsenal. So he's even better than
versus Connor.
I mean, come on now, you saw it.
Yeah, chop Connor's
and we've always known Dustin has much better boxing than Gaethje. Mm-hmm. Great hands, and he clipped Oliveira just like Gaethje was clipping him. So I never saw Gaethje being able to pose that threat of going in and knocking him out punching him. It was just a matter of a war. And so once I really started thinking about that, I rewatched Poirier fight Gaethje, rewatched Poirier fight Oliveira. I'm just like, well, if he couldn't do it, then the Gaethje style damn sure ain't gonna do it.
Yeah, I had the same thought going into the fight. I think Gaethje's cool. Yeah, he's entertaining to watch for sure, but he doesn't pose that just be able to end the fight at any moment kind of stature, so to say. At least not that he hasn't showed me that, at least. Or just like any second he can just knock somebody's lights out kind of thing. Just, one punch, one shot kind of thing, which was I felt like, because Oliveira's been rocked in the past and things like that, but he's also been rocked and took a shot and came back and turned the fight around. And I mean, Gaethje, look, he was engaged early on, but I'll tell you what, man, that Charles Oliveira, that jiu-jitsu is fucking serious, man. When that boy gets a hold of you, he comes with so many different angles with these locks and shit, man. He's back to back to back with the locks, bro. He had him in a triangle, right to, then got under his neck, and then once it was a tight squeeze. So I don't think Gaethje quit. I just think, kind of like you said, I just don't think Gaethje posed a big enough threat for an Oliveira.
No way. And so then I'll round this up by saying I would not be surprised if the matchmakers are not really, really looking at bringing O'Connor in, because Connor poses a different kind of threat than all the other guys do. Even though Dustin beat Connor definitively twice, Even though his leg got broke, Dustin was doing his goddamn thing that second or third fight.
He definitely was.
But Connor poses a different kind of threat. He just truthfully does.
I agree.
And he really has that one punch game change power. And it might
Sparky.
not
Yeah.
knock you out cold one punch, but it's going to change the game, change the trajectory, change your style, change your plans. And we've seen it.
That's the best way to put it.
I also feel like Connor's one of those guys that you want to beat him the fuck up. So I feel like guys will. I think we saw it with Khabib when they fought. A lot of people think he could have just went and wrestled him real quick, but that third round, he was boxing the whole goddamn time.
Oh, yeah.
Got caught a few times by Connor, you know? So I feel like you want to punish him. You want to shut him up. As a Brazilian, you already know Oliveira is going to want to do it for the country to get one back. To get one back.
Yeah, from the Aldo, right? You know, it's funny. Khabib said that, like, in his perfect world, he wanted to smash Connor, like maul him, and then finish him on the feet. But I agree with you in the sense that, like you said, that Connor, he hasn't looked. I mean, I'm a big Connor fan, just like yourself. He hasn't looked like the old Connor, so to say, by any means in his last few performances. But he does pose that threat where one touch from that left hand can change the trajectory of the fight. And like you said, it's not always a knock you out unconscious punch, but it's just like a spark the shit out of you punch. Like, you know what I'm saying? Kind of change your movement a bit.
He's like Eddie Alvarez. It didn't spark him, didn't knock him out, but he stunned him to a point where Eddie's whole game plan went out the window. He didn't know what was going on.
He didn't know where he was. Yeah, he didn't know where he was. But here, Connor doesn't. It seems like, I mean, last couple of times we've heard from him, but it's Connor, so I mean everything's subject to change. But he's talking 170, and I don't know, like, if Oliveira, if that's would be a thing, or I don't know if he would.
The 170 is only for the selected fights, the Usman, the maybe a Chandler, maybe a Masvidal, maybe a gimme fight. But the Oliveira, I definitely see Connor going down,
especially if it's for the belt,
right?
For the vacant belt too,
right?
Yeah, he might take the couple extra months needed to get himself back to that 155 frame. Yeah, actually, that's a good point.
But you never know. I mean, he definitely wants that. He talked about that 70 belt. But if he has a chance to go really down and go and get Oliveira for the title and give him a break, give him some more time to cut the weight.
Yeah, I mean, from a matchmaking standpoint, and don't get me wrong, I mean, from like a money and pay-per-view standpoint, everything. I mean, I would get a fucking kick if Conor McGregor were to fight Kamaru Usman for the 170-pound title. But I mean, they're really. I'm pretty sure. I don't know if the fight's booked or not, but it seems like Leon Edwards is going to fight Kamaru Usman next. I mean, like, they kind of like announced it, but not officially. You know what I mean? So I don't know what a time frame would look like. But I mean, I don't even know if Conor is sparring yet either. So we don't really have like a definitive time frame as to when we'll be able to see Conor McGregor fight again. Dana White said that the last couple times they've asked him about Conor, he's like, I can't really think about Conor because I don't know. He's not even sparring right now. I don't know. We don't know like when he'll be 100%. So it'd be interesting, but I think that'd be another banger of a fight, man. I can dance with the Brazilians again, like you said. Especially now that it's a vacant title right now. So picture Conor McGregor fighting for a vacant 155-pound title. Yeah, man, it'd be interesting to see how it plays out.
Never know. And real quick, I'll put this up. So, like I said, that Michael Chandler post-fight Octagon interview was definitely one of my top ones I've ever seen. Obviously, we've seen all the Connors. We've seen him, double champ. Where's my other belt? We've seen him 60 G's. Dana, he's got classics. But I'm about to show another one that I think is a top-tier, slept-on one. Anytime you get the crowd to go crazy, get a big pop, I'm with it.
Yeah, of course. It's a fan sport.
And let's see this one right quick.
I'm here with the winner and still champ. OH!
I don't know, man. I ain't no Ohio boy. I'm straight Florida to the fullest, but I got plenty of Ohio friends, man. Shout out to them Ohio boys. OH. On that, yeah. Man, that was in Cleveland. So seeing that crowd go crazy for him,
Oh,
man,
wait.
so many of them fucking moments. We got to go to a UFC fight live.
Oh, we got to, man.
At the
I've
Beach
said that the last. For me, though, it just has to be a big card. I was gonna say my dream, one of my not dreams, but one of my, I guess, bucket list things. I would love to. I just feel like a Conor fight just because of the atmosphere and everything, the stardom that he brings. But I'm open to anything now. Just give me a big card. You don't want to go to Conor?
No, I'd much rather watch Conor on TV where I'm
That's a good
locked in.
point.
I can see everything. You're
That's
gonna
a good
lose a
point.
lot being there, but I'd love to be the end. The tickets are gonna be out the goddamn world. It's not
Oh, of
worth it.
course, yeah.
So I'd love to go to like a low level, maybe title fight, main event, maybe a couple bangers. You never know. But I'm telling you, just being there live.
I just want to be in the
worth
building.
it. Yeah, no
Yeah,
matter
I want to
what.
experience that. I saw he just showed Stipe. Stipe is about to fight John Jones, isn't he? A couple.
Nah, that was kind of just like a picture from the Pivot podcast. They had Dana White on, and they kind of had it on the background, and he just kind of revealed that that's just kind of the board of potential fights that we'd like to, but that's not doesn't mean it's booked. So kind of halfway through it out, but halfway. Come on, we saw it. Yeah, we saw the shit. We know that, which is good news that they're in the works of getting John Jones a fight. We all want to see him come back, and it's going to be at heavyweight, it seems. So, Stipe John Jones, that'll be cool.
Yeah, it would be cool.
That'd be a cool one.
Yeah.
Now, before we get off UFC 274, the last fight to break down, we broke down the main event, broke down the highlight event. Now, the other title fight, people forgot it was a goddamn other title fight. Rose and Carla.
Very boring fight.
The rematch. 5 rounds of
no, not a whole lot.
Yeah, 5 rounds of a lot of I don't know, man. 5 rounds of not too much going on, but
yeah.
I think that's what that happens a lot. I think when you get rematches, especially when there's not a lot of bad blood on the line, you already know what someone does. You already know what you've done last.
Very uneventful title fight. Yeah, even Dana White, I heard him in a post-fight press conference. He was a little disappointed by the way that fight just wasn't, like you said, it just wasn't a whole lot of action. It's a fight. Did Doug Rose win the first fight or lose the first fight?
Lost.
She lost 2 in a row to this chick.
Yeah.
Not 2 in a row, but 2 fights to this girl. Yeah, it's not a fight I'd want to see again. I guess that's probably where I'm getting at with that. Split decision. Could have probably gone either way, but it's kind of one of those fights you're almost waiting for it to be over. I felt like, I hate to say that.
Yeah, Bruce is in here saying the women shouldn't fight. I don't know, bro. Like, there's definitely some good women fights out there, but I think what we just saw, the stagnant fights, is a problem sometimes with men too. I feel like the ref needs to step in and deduct points or do something.
Yeah,
like, engage here. Because there definitely is some banger ass women fights. There's definitely some killers. Obviously not as much.
We've seen some
Rose,
classics, some classic women fights. I don't want to put that whole shine that make it just about like woman fights. Like you said, it happens in guy fights too. But unfortunately, like for the women's side of things, for that to be a title fight and be that uneventful, yeah, it wasn't
the biggest problem for me is that Rose after the fight press conference is in there saying that she thought she did enough. She thought she won, and she was upset. To me, she should have been in there apologizing, saying, "I'm sorry, fans. I don't know what I was doing. I should have engaged.
Yeah.
There's no way I won." So the fact that she was even trying to justify what went on, that just blew my fucking mind. So
not a good look. Yeah, not a good look.
That was not a goddamn good look. I've never been a super huge Rose fan, to be honest. I think she's
me either. I was just gonna say that.
Lucky ass strikes, but she's cool. Not a great fight, man.
She's more cool than I feel like a top tier fighter.
Well, Bruce, I don't think we'll see that in the Wei Lee and Joanna fight coming up. So hopefully there are still some banger girls out there going crazy.
They'll come to scrap, and I think that Amanda Nunes rematch will be a good fight too.
Anytime Nunes fights is big time.
Yep.
You got the Valentina's on that same card. It's definitely nowhere near as deep as the men's. Obviously, we know 1+1's 2, but there's definitely are some good women fights out there. That was just a sad ass fight, just like Israel Romero was sad. So there's definitely sad fights all around, but it sucks when there's 5 rounds of that shit.
5 round. That was a tough watch. That was a
I got
tough
real
watch.
drunk during that time just
I
because there
think
was a lot more
I think
time to
we
drink.
left.
So
We were with
that
each. I
wasn't
think we
good.
left and went to the bar, and then I think I had no. Yeah, it didn't. 2 rounds went by, and I was just like, holy shit! And it was one of those fights where it's like, not once in the fight did I think somebody was gonna stop it. Like you could just tell that it was just gonna drag on. Like it was a, and it's crazy because the week before I heard you
Let me
speak
see
about
what
it on
we
the
got
podcast.
here. Look at Bruce. Chandler needs to focus a bit more. Too much shit going on in that call out. Which I feel you, but I feel like, I think Chandler knows that his time is limited here. So I think he just wants to get the biggest, baddest fight he ever could. He knows he already lost to Oliveira, so they might not give him that title fight as quick as others. But if he calls the fight out like he did and Charles calls for him, hey, you got
Might
it.
think
You got
about
it
it.
going. If
He lost to
Connor
Oliveira and
comes
Justin
out,
Gaethje, huh?
that's a big boy fight. So I think he just wants a banger fight. And to his credit, I wasn't big on Chandler when he came over. But I'm glad that Chandler's doing shit for the fans. He has the fans number one in his mind. Entertainment, wars, whether it's even him putting his chin out against Gaethje like an idiot about to get dropped. He's got the fans on his mind, and I just appreciate that shit. So I want to see him fight anybody.
Yeah, I think he said that. He said, "I'm here for a good time, not a long time." He said something along.
But he
the
kind of
lines
went back on that because now he's realizing because people are saying like, "Oh, you're already done." He's like, "Oh, no."
Gotcha.
So I
Kind of
appreciate
contradicting
Bruce bringing
himself
that shit up. Not contradicting, but he just realizes, hey, if I'm winning, he took 2 quick losses.
Yep.
After he sparked Hangman real quick, Dan Hooker, but
Okay.
he's been in only big boy fights, just like Gaethje was. A lot of people forget when Gaethje came on the scene, he was in main event, and went like 1 of 4, 1 of 3. Lost in crazy fashion, right? Eddie Alvarez, Poirier got a loss. But Chandler is not a Gaethje. He is a different kind of world. But Gaethje got that win. That'd be a crazy rematch to see. I just like the highlight reels.
I think they should. That's the fight I'd make. I'd make the rematch still. Chandler Gaethje rematch. Gaethje's gonna need to fight, and like Chandler already lost to Oliveira. They both lost to Oliveira, so let them rematch, and then maybe down the line, you know what I mean? So, I who wouldn't want to see that fight again? As entertaining as that was. But
man, I tell you what though, like I really didn't want to see the Gaethje fight as a Conor fan, just because I don't want to see him kick his legs and then just chop him down and potentially beat him up, or maybe Conor might spark him, or maybe war. But Conor Chandler, I would love to see a big left versus the big right.
That's a banger of a fight for sure. That's a banger. And Chandler, shit, man, Chandler's gonna bring the fight. He's not gonna shy away. You know what I mean? He's not gonna try to wrestle Conor or anything like that. They're gonna be there trained blows and like full blown, like you said.
And that's the fight Conor really can't lose. We're big Conor fans in here, but we're critical on him too. That's the fight he can't lose. That's the real lightweight from Bellator.
That'd be bad.
That's not Dustin coming in here gonna kick your legs off and break your leg. He's gonna come. We never know what's gonna happen, but that's a boxer style versus a boxing style.
Yeah, that's a must-win fight for Conor. But Conor is also smart, and I think that's why he wants. He's not gonna come back and fight Chandler. I don't think he's gonna come back and fight for somebody's belt. I'm like 95% positive that Conor McGregor's return fight will be a 170-pound championship fight or a 155-pound championship fight. And not that he thinks he's going to lose, but it's Conor. He's not going to – I don't want to see him fight Nate again right now. I don't know what's going to happen with Masvidal. I'm not really – that's fight. I feel like I'm not too big on that one either. So, I mean, I'd say throw him in there with Usman or Oliveira. I know he's maybe not deserving of the title shot in terms of actual productivity and what he's done in the octagon in recent history, but at the same time, he's the biggest pay-per-view draw in the history of the company, and he poses a threat that a lot of people don't pose. You know what I mean? That's just what it is. We'll see, though. We got to see how everything plays out. It's Dana White's favorite thing to say is, "We'll see how this thing plays out." So that's just, we'll see. We'll let the matchmakers do their job, but yeah,
he's got to get healed first before anything. He's nowhere near ready to go.
Yeah, I don't think he's sparred yet. I think he's kind of behind schedule because I watched an interview with him a few months ago, and he was projecting to be sparring in April, and I didn't hear anything about him sparring yet. So I feel like he's a little behind schedule, which is probably to be expected. Man, it was a severe, brutal injury. So, but Connor's, yeah, I mean, he's gonna come back. It's gonna be a big fight no matter who he fights, but I would guess it'd be a title fight, believe it or not, in his return, whenever that will be.
Absolutely. And hey, I'll tell you this over this weekend, obviously Canelo had a big fight. And Canelo lost a
How about
unanimous
that?
decision. All 3 judges saw it the same way.
How about that?
Had him lose 115 to 113. I mean, I watched the highlight back. I didn't get to watch the fight. We chose to watch UFC that night.
Yep.
As most probably assumed it was Canelo fighting a not big name. We're not big boxers. I mean, the guy, Dimitri Bivol, came out 19-0.
19-0.
But you never know in boxing. 11 knockouts, but you never really know. I mean, Canelo's fucking 57-1-2 at the time. Only lost to Mayweather in 2 draws. So now he's got 2 real losses on his career. But the big thing in here is it was 175. Canelo moved up in weight class to go try this.
What's Canelo natural 170 here?
160, 165. I believe most of the fights with
he's moved up and down,
165. Yeah,
this the biggest.
The Floyd fight was probably a 50.
That's probably I know he's moved up and down, but like this was probably the biggest he's ever fought at, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, and you could tell like when you watch the video, you could just tell. Usually Canelo's pretty big in his fights, real big, torso, real big body there.
Yeah, stocky.
You could tell the other guy was much taller than him. Over 6 feet. Canelo's like 5'8.5".
Oh wow! Also, the other guy was
longer reach.
Was the bigger man.
Much bigger, much taller. Yeah, you could just tell he's a natural weight class. He's a natural in that weight class.
I did,
and he didn't do nothing fancy. Never dropped him. Didn't do nothing fancy. Just outboxed him, out jabbed him, bop bop bop.
Russian guy, right?
I believe he's Russian, maybe.
Yeah.
Dimitri, yeah, probably. And
Canelo. I watched Canelo's last fight versus Caleb Plant, who was a similar build, like significantly taller than him. He just wasn't. I think with this guy, just from like the few highlights I watched, he just was a little more active. Caleb Plant was scared to throw punches. This guy, like you said, not that he did anything out the ordinary, but he was just took advantage of the size difference and just kind of chopped away little by little. And everything I've read, I mean, it's not really like it seems like he definitively lost the fight. It was a relatively close fight in terms of
no, he definitely lost the fight. He definitely lost. A lot of people were worried they weren't going to give it to Dimitri just because he's Canelo and he's the A side. But the judges did their thing. They scored it like they saw it. Gave the win to Dimitri, man. Got to win over Canelo. Now here's my thing.
I was just gonna say, I hope you bring.
I do not think that Canelo is going to be super crazy and wanting to go back and get another try and win that belt. I don't see Canelo going down and wanting to be the king of boxing again. He's already got the pound for pound king title.
Yep.
I see Canelo putting his hat in that old celebrity super fight game. Usman, where you at? Pound for pound type of thing. I can see that coming up. Not up for a payday. But I think he wants that kind of, those big fights like he had with Triple G.
I was going to say, I'd say that.
The world is watching.
There was rumors of a third fight between him and Triple G, which, I mean, who wouldn't want to tune into that? Which I've spoke to you about this off camera, is I actually... that first fight that they deemed a draw, I watched that whole fight live. Watched both of their fights live. Triple G, for me, won that fight 7 rounds to 5. Clearly, I watched it multiple times. I feel that way. But the second one I thought was probably about a draw, but I'm not mad that they gave it to Canelo. But I mean, those were 2 phenomenal fights, so that'd be a fun fight. And the Usman thing is interesting because Canelo doesn't really like shoot it down. I've heard him be asked this before. He doesn't exactly shoot down the idea of it. Of course, Usman would love to do it because it's payday. But
it's also pound for pound versus pound for pound.
That makes it kind of cool.
Let's see who the real boss is. Let's see who the real dog is out here.
Yeah,
of the fight game. Then you can claim
Sure.
up the fight game.
It'd be in a boxing match, I presume, though, right?
Yeah, I have to. Yeah, you
Yeah.
have to.
Yeah.
And but here's my thing, bro. Canelo loses. Okay, I wrote this down just because I had to remember. So Canelo got a guaranteed $15 million,
This is crazy. This
and
is
Dimitri
crazy.
got a guaranteed $2 million. Canelo gets 70% pay-per-view shares. Dimitri gets 30. So after it all, they put out Canelo's walking away with $50 million,
Wow.
and Dimitri's gonna walk away with 5.
And he won
So
the
it's
fight.
just like, holy shit, you know? And
That's very.
so,
That's a big different. Like, it's a big gap. It's
that's a
very
big gap.
big
You know what I
gap.
mean? Obviously, you could just say the whole card is there because of Canelo's coming. That's why any tickets were sold. I get
For
it.
sure. For sure.
But we're seeing a lot of that. The fighter difference, the fighter pay shit, and it's just like, man,
More so in
$50
boxing,
million.
right?
You see just the big numbers in boxing, which
Yeah,
now
bigger
people are
numbers.
a lot of people are questioning and talking about UFC fighter pay,
I'll be
yada
honest
yada
with you,
yada.
man.
We don't got to go crazy into that shit, but
Yeah, that's
$50 million.
I'm that. This wasn't even like that promoted of a fight. Like, I feel. I mean, I knew they were fighting, but at least everybody anybody in the sports world that I connect with was much more excited for the UFC card than they were for the Canelo fight.
I mean, that's pretty much
The new norm.
UFC versus
Yeah,
boxing at this point. You know what I mean? It
that's the
just
new
really
norm.
is.
Yeah, 100%.
It
But
just really is.
I'm surprised Canelo Alvarez, win or loss, even if he would have won the fight, made $50 million off of that fight. That's kind of mind boggling to me. Not that, I mean, good for him. You know what I'm saying? I better good for him from a financial standpoint. That's phenomenal. But wow, Conor doesn't even get that much for most of his UFC fights, does he? Like, I feel like that's a big payday for just
Yeah, hell no.
for like a small fight like that. Not a small fight, but that's not like a blockbuster fight or by any means. And 50 to the loser, 5 to the winner. How about that?
Exactly, man.
Shit
Like that just does not make sense to me. I'll tell you what, my brain.
Yeah, that's a little leaves me scratching my head. For sure, man. I don't know how boxing's different than UFC in terms of the pay, so I don't know, man. These guys are all signed to different promotions and whatnot. What's Canelo? Is he Golden Boy?
No, he's with Eddie Hearn.
Eddie Hearn. Okay, I like Eddie Hearn. English guy, right?
Yep. And
Um,
Oscar was putting little tweets out and shit.
I think he used to have like a thing with Oscar, and then he signed a new deal with Eddie Hearn. I don't know, but yeah, the boxing world is different than the UFC world in terms of how they get paid, who determines who gets paid what. Pay-per-view shares thing is interesting. UFC fighters, I think only the champions get a share of the pay-per-view.
Champions, and if you're like a big draw, like an O'Malley or a Pimblett,
Okay.
you know you're not the champ, but you're putting people in seats. Dana said that they'll get it as well.
Masvidal did, actually. I remember him talking
Masvidal will.
about Colby. Yeah.
But you can also choose. In that fight, I think he chose to get it, and
Colby took like a higher base pay.
There you go. There you go. There you go.
What about
now?
Dude, they're talking about Colby Covington. He's talking about he has a brain injury. Is that a real thing, or is that just him trying to sue this guy?
That's probably just lawyers and saying, claim the worst. That way we can get our shit.
We haven't heard from him since, which is
pay
me,
Colby. Pay me.
Which is
they issued a restraining order type of thing.
I saw that.
So
that's a bizarre scenario in its own right.
Yeah, man. Even he's talking about Poirier, so we might see that fight go on. But Dustin really doesn't really talk about fighting in a ring with Colby. He's all about fighting him in the street and bullshit. That tells me you don't really want smoke.
Yeah, I feel the same way. Like I like Dustin, but I didn't like. Not that I'm picking sides, but it's what do you mean? Like, it's you're a fighter. Like if they want you to fight him in the octagon, then you have the chance to do whatever you want to do to him. Go fight him. I don't know. I heard Dustin say that too. He's if I fight him, I'm going to jail. Or I don't know. Like you said to me, that tells me he don't think he could beat him. To be honest, anybody can run up to somebody like Masvidal. Same shit with Masvidal. Masvidal got dominated by Colby. I'm actually a big fan of Colby in terms of his in the cage performance. I mean, his personality is what it is, but you got to know it's just an act too. At the end of the day, that's not actually him. But he absolutely dominated Jorge Masvidal. So that's why you had the chance to do anything you wanted to do to him within those 25 minutes, and you didn't get much accomplished. So you punch him outside of a restaurant. I don't know. I just was a little bothered by that whole situation. But and when Dustin's comments were similar, and if I fight Colby, I'm going to jail. I don't want to fight him in the octagon. Like, why not? You're a fighter. Like, you're a UFC fighter. It's what you get paid to do. Like, it's, I don't know. But
yeah, we'll never understand that shit, man.
Fight game, man. Fight game. Crazy.
But you already know, man. We just had to come up here and recap the little UFC weekend, little fight weekend. We'll do some more recaps this week as we got the NBA playoffs going down.
Absolutely.
Got a game going live now.
Big week of the playoffs, man. Big week. A lot of 2-2 series, man. Some definitive games and stuff going on. So, like you said, this big week of sports and everything, man. Sheesh. Football season's around the corner too, which is a beautiful thing. Always beautiful time of the year. Hell yeah, man! A lot of good stuff coming up, man. A lot of good stuff coming up for sure in the sports world. So we'll have to stay in tuned.
Always gonna stay in tune. Well, man, I'm Money, man. I appreciate you coming on to the podcast. We're gonna wrap this thing up real quick for the one time.
Yes, sir.
We'll definitely be back live on tomorrow and the rest of the week.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me, my brother. Until next time, salute.
You already know, man. Till next time, it's been the Bundy Man.
Cheers.
Aye. And man, we're just gonna wrap up tonight. Nothing crazy, nothing too wild. We're not gonna keep everybody here too long. It's about 11 o'clock here Eastern time in sunny South Florida. And one thing I gotta say, man, is live your life and find out what makes you happy. Okay? A lot of people say, what do you want to do for the rest of your life? What do you want to do when you grow up? What do you want to do that makes you happy? Straight up. And if you're blessed enough and lucky enough to be able to find something that you like and you get paid to do it, you made it. Okay? You made it. There's so many people out there, so many of us that hate what the fuck we do, hate our jobs. I'm one of them. Okay? And but it's been a gradual thing that's gotten worse, right? But I've never let the main idea slip away from my head, which is I'm in control here. This is my reality. This is my little world. This is my little problem in my head, which is I don't like my current job. Okay. Easiest answer. I'm a big fan of solve it, help yourself, get a new fucking job. They're free. Just go apply for it, right? But then I think, is it worth it? The leave, the departure, the journey, the risk. You got to weigh all these things into it. Then you got to weigh in, do I make good money? Am I good at what I do? Am I a master at what do I do? Which, I feel I am at this point. So I'm almost on an autopilot. So I can go to work and physically do my work and mentally be somewhere else. And that's a good thing to do. I love that. And I realize, my job is literally just a fuel of money, which fuels, house, car, me, family, food, shelter, clothes, all these things. And then you get to have fun, invest things, ideas, what I like, material things. So once you just really get that in your mind, that literally the jobs is just a funnel of getting money, a fuel of income that allows you to do whatever you want to do in life, own things, buy things. So a lot of people are, especially today, man, jumping out, getting on shit like this, trying to do a podcast, trying to do OnlyFans, trying to fucking go viral. It's a new thing. Fuck your job. Let's go viral. But don't get it confused. A lot of these people on podcasts, a lot of these people that we see on TV and shit have real jobs at the same time, because the real job is what pays. This viral shit ain't really that lucrative at all times. Unfortunately, there are some fucking people that make crazy money, and it don't make sense. I don't get it either. But then you think about it and you go, it's people like us that's watching these bozos that get them rich, right? So I'm figuring this shit out, man. I'm not going to go too deep on this fucking podcast here at 11 o'clock at night. Only took one shot, but if I took a couple more shots, we might get super deep in the waters out here, man. You never know. But I appreciate everybody tuning in, man. I'm going to wrap this thing up before we hit an hour on the official Wydoe podcast, episode 9. We'll break some more shit down on episode 10 tomorrow, probably tomorrow live around 7:38. And I want to say I got this shit working, but I don't know. Okay, the sound bar, I'm trying. I'm going to play it so I can maybe hear some shit. I'm going to give myself a round of applause just in case it's working. I can't tell. Sometimes it's loud as fuck here right now in the studio for me, but sometimes the shit don't work. So I'm trying to get better. I'm trying to improve, the show, get some visuals right. I got some guests coming on. Got some shit booked up for this week. Couple coming up next week. Ooh, one Wednesday this week is going to be major. So everybody, please stay tuned, man. Bear with me. We're going to get better. We're going to improve. We're going to break shit down, man. We're here to be real. We're here to be relatable. We're here to be honest. That's all you can ask for, baby. You only get one life. We're going to make it worth it. So until next time, I appreciate anybody tuning in, anybody watching, anybody listening. And if no one told you today, you look great. You're doing your thing and keep on going. It's your boy Wydoe. We out. Whew.